Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is the official kickoff to the next project on my channel. We're not totally leaving Year of Prosperity behind. If you're new here, hi, I'm on a journey of bringing more prosperity to my life. If you want to know more about that, I'll list that down below. But today we're kicking off a new challenge, and as you know by the title, it's all around no buy and bringing back OG YouTube with a twist and trying to seek out the Holy Grail. So if that sounds good to you, I hope you'll stick around, hang out, keep watching, and let's dive right in. All right, so yes, I am blonder. If you knew me before YouTube, I have spent a lot of my life as a highlighted blonde, but we're there. We're gonna touch on that a little bit in this video, but I took a little bit of a break last week from my channel to kind of let the ideas of this marinate a little bit and make some final decisions on what this challenge is going to be about on my channel. So today we're going to cover no buy rules, my exceptions, a couple of things that I did to prepare for this challenge, and then what to expect throughout the year with this challenge. So we are going to be calling this the ultimate quest for Holy Grails. And the idea behind this challenge really was to kind of pick up where Year of Prosperity was leading me, which was decluttering a lot in my house just to make things a little bit more manageable mentally as well as physically. And I took a moment and looked at my beauty habits and also the amount of beauty that I had. And we talked about this in my other video. I want to get back to the consumer who I am at the core of it. Now being on YouTube for 3 years has kind of changed how I view things, changed how I have bought and consumed over the past couple of years. If you're interested in the background of that, I will link that last Get Ready With Me below. We kind of cover all of those things there. So today we're more so going to focus on like, what is this challenge? So to me, this is the year of the ultimate search of Holy Grails. I want to be a buy it for life kind of person. I want to find the perfect product, and I want everything on my shelves and in my vanity to deserve the space that it's taking up physically, and also, as Hannah Louise Poston says, in her mind palace. But there's something to that. Like, my mind cannot navigate if there's too many things to manage, and that includes physical things as well. So let's get into the rules of this no buy / challenge. All right, so first off, this no buy, and I'm reading from my little Notion page that I made about this, but this no buy is going to take place from September 1st to the end of September next year. I want to do a full year, and that's a little over a full year, but I really want to see in that time frame if I can meet the goals that I want. And if I can't meet the goals that I want to meet that we're going to cover, I will extend that. But for right now, it's going to be September 1st to September 30th. I'm doing that so that I can get through my birthday. I have a couple of planned purchases that I need to get in before I can truly commit to not spending any money on net new things. So that said, as far as like no buy rules go, this is going to be replacement only. And the way that I'm going to tackle that is everything in that category gets used up, then I can purchase something. So we're going to do some inventory videos on my channel, which I'm very excited about. And I already have a way that I'm going to track my inventory digitally. That way I don't have to remember what I thought about a product, or if I go and I run out of a category, I have a list of things that I've tried so I can see like what might be a better fit. So this is going to include makeup, skincare, body care, books, and stationery. I'm excluding housewares because we'll get into that in the exceptions, but all of those things, replacement only, okay? And it's gonna be a lot of fun. The second thing, or second rule, is gift cards are only for planned purchases prior to this no buy, and replacements. So no net new things that aren't a part of an exception or aren't a product that I've run through an entire category on. I can't wait to get into the categories because I think it's gonna explain a lot about me as a beauty lover and user. And then the third and final rule is I've gone through all of my beauty services and I've collected the things, or gone through my collection and found the things that I need to bring as much as I can in-house and DIY. So the things that I'm going to exclude from this is going to be hair, obviously, but the way that we set up the coloring of my hair, I'm planning on doing every 4 to 6 months. So I ended up spending about the same. We're going to get into the breakdown of that, but DIY services are coming back in-house to me. I have no nails. We'll get to that. All right, so those are the 3 main rules. Again, if you're interested in like why I'm doing this, I'll list again that video down below. But getting into exceptions, I really wanted to keep the exceptions to a minimum, and I'm not going to add exceptions, but we might take away. But where I'm at with exceptions right now is I will allow myself up to 5 clothing and shoe items going into a work conference in October. That is to give me wiggle room if I don't have anything that fits that is appropriate for that type of activity. I've been working from home since 2020, and I have worked traditionally in retail companies prior to that. So my wardrobe has always changed with the business environment. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. And right now I don't have clothing that may fit that environment. I think I do, but I'm just giving myself 5 items as wiggle room. I didn't want to put a cash amount to it, and I wanted to limit the number of items that I'm buying, so 5 is what I landed on. Oh, Frank. I may not buy all 5 items, but that is an exception. The next exception is, as my hair grows, I may need to extend my hair categories. I don't use a ton of products. It's really just shampoo, maybe a mask, and a leave-in for heat protection. I only have 3 categories right now for hair. As I grow longer, because that's my plan, I may need to extend that. We'll see when we get there, that type of thing. Then the next one is, if something is causing physical or mental harm in my routine, I can replace it, but I need to try to repurpose the replaced product if possible. So obviously if I'm using a product and it's breaking my face out like crazy, I'm not going to force myself to use that up. We will try to repurpose if I can and replace it. I think that's self-explanatory. Gifting for other people is not included in this. Self-explanatory. And then there's a dog barking today, and Frank's wild for it. I don't know. Into the things that we may or may not cut. Kindle Unlimited books. I'm keeping my Kindle Unlimited subscription for now. It's an easy way for me to mood read if I'm not quite into my physical TBR. So I'm going to keep it for now, which also means that I need to run through my entire physical TBR, which could take, honestly, a very long time at this point. And then I'll need to make some decisions about if I'm allowed to extend beyond Kindle Unlimited. But for now, Kindle Unlimited, there's always the library. We're just not buying new books. That said, some of my planned purchases during this year-long period is a toiletry bag, just to make traveling a little bit easier. I've been really working and trying to refine my packing style for liquids and things. I have a couple of videos on my channel about it, but I really want to hone in on the right toiletry bag to make that a little less stressful and easier on me. Probably heavily related to autism for me, but I'm gonna allow that. And house shoes. I really want a pair of like shoes that I can be productive in, that provide support when I'm standing a lot, but I need them to be dedicated to not going outside. And I haven't pulled the trigger on this, and I'm putting it as a planned purchase because I may be able to repurpose a pair of shoes that I already have, but I'll be honest, most of my shoes are not super supportive. So that's kind of TBD, those 2 big purchases. And then other planned purchases, I'm gonna allow myself 1 personal souvenir per trip. Pre-order of my beloved book series, like the series that I'm well already in at this point and need to know what happens next. I will allow myself to pre-order those books. I have to know what happens. So that's gonna happen. And then the last thing is, I am tempted to allow myself the Rebel and Fleur merch releases from those beloved book series, because they are kind of fleeting. And yes, my entire personality is like romantasy right now. So that one is on the chopping block. Let me know what you think is doable. But even with those planned purchases, I'm gonna have to be reining it in a lot, and that tells you where my head has been at for the last couple of years. So those are all the exceptions, minus the last one, which is why I excluded home projects. So This is going to be within reason, and I have a working list and project list with my husband. We're planning to do a lot of upgrades. I have been working very hard in the last week preparing for this, and some of that did include homeware type things that we're going to get into, but those are the exceptions. We came out to, no, I missed two. Okay, this one I need your help with. So the two that I need your help with are very brand specific. So if Prequel releases a product that fills a hole in my skincare routine, like a BHA, a sulfur, or a scalp problem that will help me fix a problem of being more comfortable, I'm going to allow that. Prequel is one of the brands that I would like to follow the journey of, and if it is something that I will use and it will help me, I want to leave the door open for that, but it does need to kind of fill a gap if I purchase it before using something up. And then the second one is Phytosurgence, and I wrestled with this, and I wrestled with it even through the lip balm launch. So if you have noticed, or if you're new here, I have a lot of videos swatching and reviewing Phytosurgence, and I typically will buy every color in the new release because I have yet to find a Phytosurgence product that didn't end up being in my day-to-day repertoire, that didn't get heavily used, that wasn't a perfect color and texture of a product for me personally and my preferences in beauty. I adore Phytosurgence, basically. And I didn't purchase the lip balms right away because I was going to stick to this no-buy. And then I thought, why don't we build this in as an exception, but we put guardrails around it. So what I'm thinking, and you guys keep me to the straight and narrow if this is still going to be a helpful journey to go on for you as well. If I allow myself one color of a Phytosurgence launch, but I'm waiting to purchase until I need to re-up my skincare because I do use their skincare every day, and that is a category that I would need to fill. So that's what I'm thinking. Phytosurgence and Prequel, really the only two brands that I'm like, I want to stay on top of those new releases. And it feeds a lot of different things. One, those are tried, trusted, and true brands that I have not met a flop from yet, minus maybe one product from Prequel, and it's not that it was a flop, I just don't use it as much. They're safe brands for me to exchange money for, and also that could also keep reviews a little bit more consistent on my channel. They're easier to film. They don't require as much upfront work, so it's kind of like a win-win. You still get reviews on my channel. I still get to stay on top of the brands that I love, but let me know down below. All right, let's get into just things to note, things to let you know, and how I prepared for this. So one, I mentioned I'm reading off of a Notion. If I learn how to save it as a template, I'm more than happy to share this as a template. It really helps you walk through like your goals, your rules, the exceptions, what you do to prep, and then some savings tables, and then inventory tables, and then some journaling pages. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll try to learn how to do that. I'm somewhat new to Notion, but that was the first thing I did. I built my Notion and I wrote down all those things I just listed to really understand like, what am I getting out of this? Where are the areas that I need to put guardrails up around? All those good things. But I also did a pretty big beauty declutter. Now, this is not to say that if you're feeling overwhelmed, just throw everything out. That is not what I did here. I went through my products. Anything that was expired, I either threw away or I kept in a reference bin. Because I do YouTube, I'm going to keep some things just for reference, knowing that they're probably off or they are not a good product and didn't work for me. But I need them to reference or color reference. I'll keep those. And more than likely, these are products that I wouldn't want to give to anyone else because they're just not great or they're old. So I did that. The other products that I decluttered, I was very honest with myself about like what needed to happen with them. Not very much of the declutter ended up being things that I'm going to be giving to family and friends. I have some nieces that are just getting into makeup that will go absolutely bananas for it and love those things and get use out of it. So I made sure that every product that got caught up in my declutter is either going to get loved and used, or it was gone off. So I did do that. Products are not going to waste. I'm not just tossing things. And that kind of covers the other thing. I'm putting some of those products aside for reference, but I also have a basket right here actually of things that I don't know what to do with because they absolutely can get use, I think, but I don't love them. So they're gonna live in kind of this like purgatory box, and they're probably going to be the very last thing that I try to get through in a category before I go and purchase. So that's gonna live there. That said, I also bought a new vanity, and I'll insert a little clip here if you're listening. I got a vanity. This is such a like instrumental, monumental moment for me because I have not had a proper vanity that wasn't also a work desk, that type of thing, since probably 2017. And I actually sold that vanity for a little extra cash when I was moving into an apartment by myself. So I'm very, very excited. I think it fits the vibe of what I've been trying to do with the bedroom, and it kind of catapulted us to finish the bedroom a little bit more. And it also allowed me the space to revamp my bathroom. So if you remember what that bathroom used to look like from the video where I talk about how I organize, we're now completely organized. It's very serene and calming and spa-like, and it allows me to really revel in both my body care, skincare, and then also my makeup rituals that I do because those bring me so much peace. So I'm very excited about that. I would love to do a tour of the organization now because, man, it's just so much easier to use up what I have now. And doing the first 6 months on a lower buy, I really got through some stuff in order to make space and breathing room for what I truly love and cherish. So that, ooh, so exciting. The stress levels have already like come down so much just from that. And then the last thing I'll note is that I did end up purchasing a few new things for the DIY beauty services that we're going to talk about next. I used to do, and I mentioned this in that last video, I used to do a lot of my own beauty services. I used to shape and tint my own brows. I used to do my own gel nails. We're going to have a whole discussion about that in a minute. I used to do my own pedicures. I used to do my own waxing, like armpits, bikini area. If it was able to be safely DIY'd, I went down the rabbit hole, learned it, and did it. And so we're going to be bringing a lot of that back. I found that bringing these services in-house were going to save me a lot of money. And when I sat down and actually wrote out the cost savings, it was pretty crazy. So I'm going to go through the list here. My nails. So I used to get builder gel nails done at a salon. I have been getting them done since 2021. 3 years now without any breaks. I had gone before the whole Rona hit, but Rona gave me the first break I had in a couple years, and then I went 3 years without a break. I was going every 3 weeks. With tip, it was $80 every 3 weeks. So in a year, I would spend $1,300 on nails. That's crazy. That's so crazy. And I'm not going to be doing gel on my own fingers myself. I have, and I did it successfully without developing an allergy. But if you are not aware, it is very easy to develop a gel allergy, which is basically an acrylate, and acrylates are used in a lot of products, especially when it comes to dentistry and surgery. So it's not something that you want to develop by any means at all. If you are currently doing your own gel nails at home, I urge you to really start doing your research on how to prevent that, because it happens when uncured gel comes in contact with the skin over a period of time. There is a lot out there on it. It also can be said for some of the resin toys that were going on. Do your own research, make your own decision. For me, it is not worth the risk, even though I have done my own gel for years and I am diligent on research. I just decided I'm not going to do that. I still have a very small layer of gel towards the tip of my nails that she left on for integrity. So I haven't started painting them yet, but what I'm planning to test out is Dazzle Dry, and I did go ahead and buy a mini kit with a couple mini colors and we're going to see how that fares. And then once I use that up, we'll decide if we're going to stick with that system or not. And then I had a couple of leftover London Town polishes that I'll be using for my toes because I don't love sharing products fingers to toes. It's a contamination thing. Don't at me, you know? But I'm going to be saving $1,300 a year. That's exciting. For my brow shape and tint, this with tip was about $50 every 8 weeks. I would do it every 2 months. I didn't really stick to the 6 weeks. So in total, that's $325 a year. I'm bringing that in-house. We're going to save $325. For the lash lift and tint, this is about $100 with tip. And also, even though they say every 6 weeks, I would stretch it to 8. That's $650 a year. I am not totally set on this yet, but I do think I will definitely attempt tinting them myself, but I am not comfortable trying to do the lift. It's literally perm solution by your eye. So I think we might do it, but not every 8 weeks. It might be just in those heavy allergy months because that does, or for trips, because that does really give me a very good boost in quality of life, and it just makes things easier and I feel more presentable and I don't have itchy eyes because I'm loading them up with mascara. So that one might happen, but it's not going to happen consistently every 8 weeks. So stay tuned for what we decide there. Then for pedicures, I really only got like 2 last year, but it was about $100 with tip, which is so crazy to me. What is 2024? But let's say we did them monthly, that's $1,200. We're not going to be spending any of that. I had a lot of tools left over and I asked for a couple things for my birthday that will help me with that. So we're not going to spend any money there. And lastly, we have hair. I was spending with tip about $150 every 6 to 8 weeks. We'll put it on the 8-week side, which came out to like $975. We're being very transparent here. Now, that included a cut, a treatment, a blowout, and style. I love my hairstylist. I have been with her since 2018. She is not just my friend, but just an absolutely incredibly talented hairdresser. Now that I'm doing highlights, it's going to come out to be about a wash because I am going less. So my services cost more, but I'm only going 3 to 4 times instead of every 8 weeks. So that's going to be a wash. So basically, we're going to be saving almost $3,000 a year by bringing nails, pedis, eyebrows in-house, switching up the hairdo, and then also maybe doing a lash lift here and there, but we could end up saving even more than that. So I'm very excited. I just got really transparent with you. Beauty services are not cheap. They shouldn't be. A lot of those people have really honed their artistry and their craft and they are experts in it. I do not want to demonize those services, and also it is very nice to get out of the house and treat yourself. However, I don't need all of those things all of the time because I'm trying to save up financially for projects. One day when the budget exists that I can do projects and all those services, sign me up, you know, and I love the places that I went to. I just want to rein it in a little bit now. All right, that said, let's just recap goals really quick. We want to save up for projects. This is house projects. This is YouTube projects. I'm talking like we need a new roof probably soon. I could probably invest in better equipment for YouTube, but then also I could save up and start a clothing brand. And I could do those things if I just got more mindful with my finances and more intentional. Then also, I want to find, and this is like the whole thing of the challenge, I want to find my Holy Grails. I feel like that term got overused on YouTube to a point where it became a sales pitch and it became very inauthentic. I have Holy Grails and what some people now call buy it for life items that extend beyond beauty and into like everyday things. I love the freedom of finding that perfect product, and when it's time to repurchase it, there's no research involved, there's no keeping up with what's new. It's literally, you know what that product is, and that's what you're sticking with, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what I really love to do with clothes. Like, even if it's not necessarily a single product, but a brand, knowing that I can go to the brand, get what I need, and be done with it. I think we all love that. And I think that that has been really disrupted with the internet, with social media, with influencers, and just new things popping up all of the time. It is exhausting. I just want to know that is the thing, that is the brand. I don't have to look everywhere. So we're going to find the Holy Grails. I'm going to share the Holy Grails with you. We're going to help each other find the things that we don't need to think about more than when it comes time to repurchase, handing the money over. Do you know what I mean? No thoughts involved. I also want to establish routines with results. So leading up to this, I didn't mention this before, but leading up to this, as I was using products up, determining what I would repurchase, what I needed, I really honed like my skincare down. I really tested and honed my hair products down. I want to find a routine that seems to work, but then track that routine long term, like 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, the year, to see if it really did what I wanted it to, or it was just in my head. I think we don't get enough of that on YouTube, and I know it's because the pace is not friendly to being conducive with the algorithm, because people see a new product they want to review, and that's how the algorithm is driven heavily in the beauty space. Or they want a very divisive conversation about something. Neither of those things are my channel. I want to give longer term reviews and track those things and just slow down. The Year of Prosperity, building a life for me that is prosperous, entirely means that I need to slow down and breathe. So I hope you're along for this journey. We're going to do check-ins of those routines. We're going to do long-term reviews. We're going to do empties, all those things. So let me know what routines you might want to see first. Hair, skincare, body care, all of the things, KP. Those are just some of the topics we can cover. And then the last one is kind of tying into what I just mentioned, which is continuing with Year of Prosperity. And what that meant in the beginning was to make my day-to-day life more accommodating, more accessible. And that has a lot to do with like the amount of mental things that I need to manage and think about and research and get hyper fixated on. I'm trying to calm those waters down by cleaning up my environment and decluttering, knowing what my Holy Grail products are so that I don't have to think about it and I just get to enjoy using the product. And then also, and a part that we didn't quite mention yet, is like romanticizing the mundane. My vanity and my bathroom now are the exact way that I would want them to just relax, soak in the ritual, pour back into myself, and they're set up in a way that is easy to do that now, rather than feeling like I'm bombarded with products and I have so many that I need to visually see them on the counter because I can't remember what steps to do. All of that is gone, and now things are placed in a way that is very intentional and very at home with who I am as a person. And we're making the little things special, you know? But that said, that covers everything that I wanted to going into this no buy. I know it was like a verbal, but to just do a quick recap, I would love for you to come on this journey with me of getting back to like OG YouTube roots and really honing in on those Holy Grails with long-term discovery of them and not just a quick review. We're gonna have so much fun. Things that you can kind of expect coming out of this and things that I'm like itching to film is things that I already know are my buy it for life, my one and dones, my Holy Grails. I do have some of those. But then some of the routines that I want to track, we'll do kickoff videos for and kind of track that. We have collections and inventory that we need to do, a vanity tour, a bathroom organization tour. I think this lends itself to go in so many more directions than me feeling confined to reviews, empties, monthly favorites, and get ready with me's. I think we're gonna have so much more fun and we're gonna start interacting with our beauty products in our hobby in a way that is healthy, not only for us mentally, but also healthy for our wallets. But please remember, if you're not in a place where you feel a no-buy is necessary for you or a challenge is necessary for you, by no means am I saying like, I am so responsible doing a no-buy challenge. Absolutely not. There is no moral compass being delivered with this right now. It's just going to be like a fun challenge to gamify some of our goals a little bit and to also steer us back into interacting with our beauty the way that we love to, at least I love to, and stepping away a little bit from like what is seen as the norm as someone who posts on social media. So I hope that you'll go on this journey with me so very much. Also, let me know if you would like the Notion template. I'm pretty sure I can do that. And let me know if you are going to partake and what you would want to see the most first. And I'm so glad I gave it a week to let this breathe. But I'm also so glad to be back. And I hope that I will see you in the next one. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful day. And yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.